1580, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score. Play knight f3 as per usual. Our opponent, 16,000 games of rapid. That's a lot of rapid chess. Let's play d4 and c4, shall we? So it's more a d4 game, but we'll probably still end up doing this. It's just a traditional queen's pawn opening rather than a reti opening as such. He plays queen up. I could do this, I could do this. I'll do my normal structure I'll aim for, I think. And just get castled. So he's trying to take here and grab a pawn, right? So e3 is probably the most common sense way to deal with that. So I think I'll play e3. I've just got to be careful. I'm creating a pin now, so I need to break that so the knight's free to jump. Unless we're going to attack the bishop. Oh, he chooses to take. So what's his idea there? What's he aiming at there? I'm not quite sure, but I think I'll go with the queen. If there's a tactic there and I don't see it, fair enough, but I don't see one. But that doesn't mean there isn't one. Oh, that tells me he wants to go this side. Okay, but if he castles now, there is a pawn. I expect he'll play the other knight up. He might do this deliberately, want me to take. There might be some trap, but he doesn't. He goes there. So knight up now, we can trade a set of knights. Or do I prepare to launch this side? I'm actually going to bring the knight across, I think. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing something. I might be. It might create a weakness here, but I'll trade a set of knights. So we've got the two bishops this game, but I'm one of those players, generally, I actually prefer knights over bishops, just as a broad principle, even if they're not technically better. It's just the piece I generally prefer myself. So this game I'm going to have to work with the two bishops, so I assume I just want to calmly drop back here. I don't see anything better, so we'll just make sure we're guarding everything, and we might try and gain a bit of space. And then this bishop needs a square. Where's it going to go? Actually, let's get the bishop up first and try and come to a nice square. We've connected our rooks, so we both got a playable position here. It's all you're trying to do out the opening. And then at some point we can think of advancing, but I don't want to be too bold. But I've got a chance to play b4 now, but does he have any break here? Down, takes, up would be good, but my rook's in a vulnerable position, so I'm going to move the rook first onto a light square, just so it's away from that bishop, just in case I blunder something, which is very easy to do. Now I'll play b4 and maybe even a4, depends how black reacts. And then at some point, probably bishop up, get it onto the nice diagonal, but again, oh, has he just made a mistake there? He can't take with the pawn, he loses the queen. If he takes the knight, I can take it. So I think I can take a pawn there, right? So if he goes the knight, it's effectively game over if he takes back here. So it should be a pawn, he should spot that if he takes his time. But if he takes, I just take and he can't take back. So hopefully we can win a pawn here, thanks to the power of the pin. But I hope he doesn't take it. If he does take, it's just a piece. So he'll probably develop one of his rooks and then we'll take the pawn back. I think that's what we should do. He just needs to spot that knight takes, loses the knight to the bishop. Yeah, he's played rook across, so he's done well, he's found it. But I think we can take, and he'll have to take with the pawn. So that should be good for us. And then we can try and pile pressure on the pawn. Say rook across or this rook across. Then 3 will attack it and 2 will defend it. And the knight can't defend it and the bishop can't. I don't really generally... oh, excuse me. A bit croaky, but I feel alright. I don't generally like putting both of the rooks on the queen side when I'm going to be trying to attack on the king side. It's probably the right thing to do, though, rather than weakening this, isn't it? But that becomes a target, but I'll do it. We're going to try and win another pawn if we can. We might not be able to. Once we take, our bishop is then in a pin and we have to break it somehow. But it looks like a target. Maybe queen up first, hit the pawns this way, and then take back. Just one simple mistake, all it was, but don't mean I can't blunder the game away. But yeah, that's why you need to generally try and play at the right speed for whatever time control you're playing. Just less chance of minimizing mistakes, but obviously it's really easy to just blunder anything in any game. Yeah, he's launched an attack now, so this is dangerous. Now, do I want to go here and allow pawn forward? Takes, probably good. Can I go really bold and just take with the queen rather than the bishop? If he took and took, then it would take all the sting out of this, and it's just 2 pawns up. We attack a pawn here. This is ultra solid, so I think I can do it. So I'm going to take with the queen. I'd like him to take and trade things off, and then it's just much better for me. It takes all the sting out of the kingside attack if the queen's off the board. And maybe I can just play queen f3 if he doesn't, but he does trade, so we'll take back. So the kingside attack is much less dangerous now the queen's off. So we've gained a second pawn. So 7 against 5. So maybe it is good to just work on the queen side for us now. Okay, so we traded, probably attack the bishop, but here I've got bishop here, but it would allow him through. We're still going to be a bit careful. Oh, he's gone there to stop this idea. I assume we just want to simply march forward here. The bishop covers the knight jumping across, so that looks fine. So I think we should just push the pawn. I just prefer to literally just blast a pawn down the board using these 2 bishops. If we get a chance to trade, we'll just get rid of the knight. Because now we're up material, it makes sense to simplify it as much as we can. But this kingside attack shouldn't really do a lot now. So we'll literally just march forward. Actually, I don't need to pre-move, do I? But probably just take with a pawn and just literally march it up as far as we can get. So he's come there. Now I can't take now, I'll lose my rook. Okay. I'm just going to march the pawn on and try and march this one on. And then eventually we'll hopefully get our bishop in to attack the rook, something like that, as long as we don't lose the pawn in the process. I could push here as well and attack this pawn. I'm trying to play it in a way that I minimize the risks of black getting around the back and blasting through, but I'm not too concerned about any of this. I'd like to go here. Right now you take, so we'll go there first, and we're going to aim to do this. And then just push the pawn on and gain a new queen. That's the plan. That's the idea. He's played bishop back, so that just gives us a nice square to go to and challenge that bishop. If he comes back, then the bishop to d6 move. And then if rook moves, we just push the pawn up. That looks straightforward. Okay, he's traded, so now we'll need to come across, or we could just push the pawn and then come across, but what do we do? I guess we could actually take and create a weakness here. That might be good. Then how do I do it? Bishop around the angles like this, or come in here and here could be good. Actually, that makes sense to me. I'm going to drop the bishop around and target this pawn, because again, I'm preparing to push this if his rook wanders off to guard it, for instance. Very, very difficult for black now. Unless I blunder badly, it's very difficult, but he's going to try and create a mating net, so it could happen. Well, he doesn't do it that move, but it could actually happen. It's still not a complete formality. Oh, I want to come back, actually. Am I going wrong here? I have to go here, don't I? Yeah, he's going to push here then. I'm suddenly in a mating net, but I can take the pawn. Oh, he's taken. Okay, that's gone now then. So my king can step up now. I'm fine now. So he's pushed forward. So now, if I take rook across, pawn up, or take rook across, bishop here, we hit the knight and the rook. Doesn't matter if we lose a pawn, we take the knight, right? So let's take, and here I think we go bishop here, and we'll hit the 2. Okay, well that move we can drop back and attack the knight and just prepare to push. But my king's pretty safe now. It's possible to get the knight here and get a mating box, a mating net, but pretty safe now. The bigger danger was the pawn here, and the king couldn't potentially move. So he's come forward. Check is not a move. Knight across looks like a move, but I think I can just push, can I? Here, knight across, and there's a double attack. So say I push on. There's no point giving him any easy chances, though, if I don't need to. Is I say I go here, what does he do? I think I'll go forward. Because there is no knight check. If he goes back over, I just take it. Now I'm preparing to push and push. But we're stopping this knight a4 move there. But his best bet would be to try and get the knight here, and then get the rook on this file. That would be his best bet if it's possible. It might not be possible. But he can't go to either of these. He's got this square. But if I push now, king across, I just push, right? And then I could even just take here if he defends. It looks strong to me, so I'm going to play it. And then king over this pawn, lose. It doesn't matter if I lose these few, if I gain these three. But we're very close now. Obviously here I could push either of the pawns. I guess we'll just take a bit of time and try and figure it out. Okay, he's gone back, so it must be right to take there. He can take either way. We just push the pawn on. If he guards, we just push the pawn on. So that's got to be the simplest way. He can't step in to attack my rook. So now just push on and hit the rook, and then hit the rook again. And my king is perfectly safe. It was just one mistake with the pawn, wasn't it? Just one simple mistake is all it was. Okay, so now we check. He can block with a rook. I guess we throw a check in. If you're in doubt, just take there. You've also got rook up for a double attack. There is a legal move, so there's no stalemate risk. So rook up and collect next move. But as long as there's a legal move, there's no stalemate threat there. So he's pushed. He's still got legal moves, so there's no risk of a stalemate. But we'll take, and it should be checkmate coming up. So where is it? Here. Here. If I go here, he can step here. If I go here, he can step back. If I check here. Here. Just trying to find a nice, comfortable checkmate. I think I go here and here. And that's checkmate there. He was just very unlucky there one. Just a simple mistake is all it was. But let's pause so we don't accidentally start another game. Maybe look at it in engine speak. So 43 moves. They're the move times for both players. So let's analyze it. It's a comfortable game, so it doesn't really matter what the figures say, but when you do this in your own games, you're mainly trying to learn from opening mistakes, or if there's any nice principles that you're not aware of that you suddenly learn from these. But yeah, he's played very well, hasn't he? 97 versus 91, but he's just got that one blunder and a couple of inaccurate moves. Otherwise, they're all really good. So it's somebody who knows the basics and knows the fundamentals very well. You see, nothing's been flagged for either of us here. You're just trying to get castle, get your king safe, then worry about what to do. So here, we should have just played rook to d1 instead of the knight forward. Okay, so we lost a point for that. But now there's nothing flagged until we get d5, which is shown as a blunder. And of course, we win the pawn here. Then our opponent realizes once we've taken, you can't take the knight because the bishop takes and it's just a piece. But they still then managed to find lots of good moves from now a struggling position. We're +4 nearly better. You see, nothing being flagged for either player here. But with the queen off, it takes a lot of the risk out. But when he starts getting to this position, the slight danger here for me is if he gets the pawns like this, my king can't then easily escape. So if your rook comes in, there is still potential there. But it's not flagging any mistakes by me here, so I've played it pretty well. And when that's come off, my king's now got that safety net, so it's relatively comfortable here. Just stopping the knight going here to get the double attack. And then just pushing on, we get a new queen. It's just a case of now trying to convert it without stalemating and spotting the checkmate which comes there. So it is what it is, but a very good game at my level. But you can see a very decent opponent, wasn't it? Very decent, well done.